Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday. We are banging out the weekend orders. So let's get started. Today we have a ballerina cake. It's for a pretty little 2-year-old. We're just freestyling it. The only instructions I got from mom is to just do whatever I want. Freestyle it. She's been with me since the baby shower. So this is her third cake. And we're just gonna bang it out. It's a 6-inch cake, 3 layers, serving 15 people. Let's get started. Now, if this is your first time coming, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you taking time to watch my video. If you've been here before, welcome back. Okay, now this is the buttercream cake. If you guys didn't get a chance to, like I said, if you're new here and you didn't get a chance to take a look and see how I actually make these boards, and you can make your own drum, just take a look at my last video. It's very detailed. You'll see how to make it where I walk you through step by step. Okay, so we're gonna start with a little bit of buttercream on our board, which is our glue. This is a 6-inch cake, so I have a 6-inch pan. I bake my cakes in half sheet cakes because it's easier. If I get a customer who wants a half sheet cake, it's already made. If I get a customer who wants a round cake, I just take my round pans. This is a regular 6-inch round pan, sit it directly on the half sheet, and then I just take my knife and just cut around it and cut out the actual rounds that I need. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna take this half sheet, some marble flavor. We're gonna go ahead and cut out 3 rounds that we need to make our 3-layer cake. For me, I find it easier, much easier to just go ahead and bake sheet cakes, and that way, out of a sheet cake, I can make any size I need, whether it be round, whether it be square, rectangle, whatever the shape is, I can get it out of the square. Okay, so we got our glue down, we got our first round, and you guys know, I always use my simple syrup. The simple syrup recipe will be right down in the description box. If you ain't got time for that, you just use 4 cups of sugar, 2.5 cups of water, vanilla to your liking. I put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. Boom. I'm sorry, 10 minutes. Then you got simple syrup, okay? All right. So we just gonna fill these layers until we get to 3 layers. So how's everybody doing? The weather is breaking. It's getting nice out here. You know, all the parties and the events are about to start, or they're starting. We're approaching that season. Time to get all those extra coins. So now we're just getting our second layer. And I always use the flat side, okay? So we're gonna put the flat side down. Do our simple syrup. Take our knife, rub it in. The simple syrup, it is a step that you can skip, but I wouldn't, because any chance you get to make your cake more delicious, go for it. So we got our buttercream. Okay, I'm gonna do one more layer. Make sure when you're doing these layers that you keep the cake as closest to the corner as possible. Don't like sit it, you know, in the center if you don't have to, because you want to get as many rounds out of this cake as you can. And like I said, never throw your scraps away, because this is money. You could use this for cake pops, for push pops, use it for the cake sickles. So here's our 3rd layer, and then we want to do it flat side down, okay? Press it all together. A little bit more simple syrup to top it off. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and ice it up, get our crumb coat on it, then we'll put it in the fridge, bring it back for our final coat, do the decorations, then move on to the next one. This is gonna be a pretty easy weekend. I think I only got about 4 or 5 orders and a baby shower. All the cakes are pretty simple. I'm going to take you guys along with me for everyone. I'll take you guys to the baby shower with me as well. For that, I'm only doing throne chairs. Just they wanted special seating. So that's all we're doing for that. I'll take you guys along with me. So we're just crumb coating this one here. Then after this, we're going to go ahead and make some of our decorations. I'm going to do a little bit of chocolate work. The color scheme that I'm working with today is pink, black, and gold. So I'm going to do a little chocolate work, some chocolate pieces, some bows and things like that to just kind of put on the cake and dial it up. So I know that last video, guys, it went over 2 hours long. You guys let me know down in the comment section. Do you guys like long videos? Would you like to see me do everything from beginning to end? Or, you know, those shorts are pretty popular right now. Or do you guys want to see something short? Because a lot of times when you're doing these cakes, if you really want to learn how to do it, you know, if you're anything like me, you need to see the whole thing. So I'm going to take my scraper. You know, sometimes what I like to do, this is a plastic scraper. Sometimes I bend it to make it the actual shape of my cake. You know, and since it's circular, sometimes I bend it a little bit there. And then I go and put it around the cake. If you guys hear anything in the background, you know, my family is here, you know, we live here for real. So you could actually hear my family in the background. So excuse any noise you might hear. Okay. And let me know where you guys are from. Where are you watching me from? And if there's any cakes or treats or anything in particular you guys would like to see me do, let me know. Put it down in the comment section. And don't forget to watch that last video where I go in detail about how much icing I use when I'm setting up the cakes and the whole process. Okay, just gonna get all the extra icing off the board. I'm gonna go ahead, put this cake in the fridge, let it set up a little bit, and I'm gonna come back with you guys. We're gonna make the colors to do the finishing touches. We're gonna make the little chocolate work. I'm thinking about doing some sprinkles on the cake. She's 2 years old. Kids love sprinkles. So if you guys didn't know, I do my own sprinkle mix. So I sell them. So if you guys are interested, you see any sprinkles that you love, you're interested in getting some, just email me. It'll be down in the description box and I'll get that out to you. But today I'm going to do one with you guys. We're going to make a sprinkle mix on the fly. You know, just taking them with the colors that's going with the cake. We're going to make it, hook it up. So I'm going to walk that out with you guys. But let's get this cake cooled. We'll come back. We'll finish up all of the details. So I'll be right back. Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, I got everything cleaned up. I went and melted us down some candy melts. I used white and a little bit of pink color to make it like a pale pink. I got my molds. We're gonna be doing some bows. And then I got the heart mold. This one is pretty popular. It's trending, a geometric design. So we're gonna put some hearts on there. I got some regular hearts, so my heart mold for that. And we're gonna do bows. We're just winging it. I'm freestyling, so I'm just thinking as I go, and we're just gonna make as I go. None of this is planned, the design or anything. I just kind of do it on the fly. Okay, so we're gonna take the heart mold that we have, the regular hearts, put it on our stand. And like I said, I just melted it. It's actually still just a little bit warm. And we're just gonna go ahead and use the spout and pour some in. And if I'm honest, I don't even know how much I need. I'm just gonna do a few of these, a few of the big hearts, and some bowls, okay? Gonna shake it up a little bit. And with this mold, because it's so deep, you don't have to fill the chocolate all the way up to the top. See how deep that is? So we're just gonna wipe off the excess. And then we're just gonna sit this down to the side here, and we're gonna keep going until we get all of our molds filled up. Then we're gonna take them, put them in the fridge, let them set up and get cold. You can actually leave them room temperature. A lot of times when you're working with chocolate, candy melts, either or, if it's warm and you take it and you put it straight in the refrigerator, your chocolate will crack, okay? Especially if you're doing like thin pieces. But like with those hearts, because it's actually deep, the cavity of the silicone mold is deep, we don't have to worry about it breaking. But if it was like thin, then don't put it straight in, because you put it straight in and you wonder, like, you know, why does your chocolate break or crack? That's why. Because anything you put hot straight into something cold, it's like the temperature change and it'll crack, okay? Okay, so we got these hearts as well. This is pretty deep too. I'm gonna do about, it's not really that big of a cake, so we're gonna use 2. So I'll do 2 of these. And if a little bit spills on the mold, that's okay. One thing about chocolate, you know, once it's set, you can just take it and put it right back in the bowl. Or, you know, cup, whatever it is you guys are using. Okay. So, all right. Okay, so we got 2 of the geometric hearts. We got the regular hearts, and we got the bowls. So I'm gonna take this, put it in the fridge. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna put the final coat of icing on, and then we're gonna decorate it, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I got everything in the fridge. It's setting up for us. Chocolate doesn't take long, about 5 minutes, it'll be ready. Okay, and I promised you guys a sprinkle mix, okay? Now, what I will do in the future, if you guys are up for it, you want to see it, I'll show you how I make my own sprinkles, okay? And what I should say by that is I don't actually make each ball, but what I do is I make my own custom colors. I do my own custom mixes, okay? So this is a custom color that I made in the pastel pink. And if you guys want, let me know down in the comment section, and I will do a video on how I actually do the colors. Now, we're also gonna use some colors that I already have. So this one here is just some black sprinkles, sugar pearls. I also have some light pink sugar pearls, because the color palette that we're using is pinks, black, and we're gonna do gold as well, okay? So, and then I also have some darker sprinkle candies in a darker pink, okay? Now, when we actually do the cake, we're gonna do the cake a pastel pink. That way these hot pinks will make it pop, okay? If you do too many colors, like say if the base is pastel pink and you make everything else pastel pink, it just look like you threw up pink. But if you want balance, just take the shade up a shade darker and make it look so much better. Okay, so let's make a sprinkle mix. So we're gonna take some of the darker color that we have here. Now this is one of my pans. This is just a 7-inch pan, and I use them for bowls. So they don't just go in my oven. I use them for whatever I need them for, okay? So today we're gonna be using it for a bowl to mix up our sprinkles in. So we're gonna take a little bit of our pastel pink, and we're just gonna pour it in. Normally I would take like one of my measuring cups and do it, but it's in the baking room, so let's just keep going. So when you're doing a sprinkle mix, unless you know like from your clientele that you use a lot of pink, and I do a lot of girls' cakes, so I know I'll be cool with having a little bit extra pink. But if you want to keep it to a minimum, if you know you don't use a lot of pink, or you don't do a lot of girl cakes, when you make your sprinkle mixes, make them small. That way you won't just have all these sprinkle mixes just sitting around and you're trying to figure out how to use it. But one other good thing too, especially for me, is my clientele usually wants me to freestyle everything. So it's really my idea. So I always get a chance to, you know, if I have anything extra, to use it all up. Okay, so we got that, and these are the smaller ones, the smaller sugar pearls. Remember, I showed you the black ones that we got. When you do black, one thing I found out about black, now these are the sugar pearls. So they're round. Now, if you do like the jimmies, which is longer, and I do those in my sprinkle mixes as well, be careful with those, because I had a client tell me one time that a jimmy looks like rat poop. So don't take like black jimmies and just sprinkle them on a cupcake by itself. Always combine them with something else. That way it can break up that poop look, okay? So I just got a little bit of black in it, okay? Now our topper that we're gonna be putting on top of the cake is black. I don't wanna do a whole lot of black, but one thing that the client did request, is that the ballerina, that she herself be black, okay? So everything else is all me. So we're gonna take the, now these are actually candy, and they're really good, okay? So we're gonna sprinkle in those. We don't need that many of those, but the kids are gonna love those, okay? Because these are actually chocolate pieces, okay? And it's like colored candy, okay? Whereas the other ones, they're the sugar pearls. And like I said, let me know in the comment section if you guys want to see how I color them up. So see what we got so far? We got the candy pearls, the smaller ones. We got a little bit of black. I'm gonna add a little bit more black. I think it needs a little bit more. Like the jimmies that I was telling you guys about. I'm gonna grab some jimmies so you guys can see what I was talking about. And I think I do want to use a little bit in my mix. And as a matter of fact, because we're adding a little gold on the cake, I want to grab a little gold too, okay? I'll be right back. I'll grab those. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the extra sprinkles. Now we got a little bit of gold. This is a gold pearl. Every girl needs a little bit of gold. So we're gonna add just a few of those to our mix. You guys can see down in there. We're gonna add a few of those in our mix. Then, now what you can do is when you make your mix, you don't even have to take like how I'm doing it, take your bowl, your pan, whatever you're using, and put it all in here. You could just make like a smaller mix, and then take like some of the big ones and just stick them on, okay? So we got the gold. Now we didn't do the lighter pink, so we're gonna take the lighter pink. I like to take the caps off, pour a little bit in. And I'm gonna have way more than what I need, but like I said, I'm fine with that because I do a lot of cakes for women, girls, and you know how I go. I like pink. Okay, so see there? Okay, now, because I wanted to show you guys the jimmies. Now, a lot of people call sprinkles everything. Sprinkle is a sprinkle. But, you know, they got different names. Pearls, sprinkles, jimmies, decorates, things like that. Now, this is the jimmy. Remember when I was saying, a client told me one time it's like rat poop? See how it's like little, let me put it here. You can see it better, like on there. See, that's why I said never sprinkle those. Like, say for instance, don't take like a decorated red cupcake and just sprinkle this on it, because it's gonna look a little weird. So we're gonna take it and just put just a little bit in our sprinkle mix where we know we can get away with it and we can still get, you know, just a little bit more black in it. Okay. Now I also have some more sprinkles. Now, if you see here, and you guys, I got this from Great Value, Wally World, okay? And they have like, this is kind of like one of those New Year's Eve things. You know how New Year's Eve, the colors are like black, gold, and silver. So this is like a New Year's Eve blend, okay? So I'm gonna take some of that gold there, and I'm gonna sprinkle it in our mix. I'm gonna take a little bit of the this one right here. You can see that real good. We're gonna put a little bit of that in our mix. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, now just gonna circle it around a little bit, then take a look. Now we got a pretty sprinkle mix. If you wanna add a little bit of white, or like for me, from what I see, if I'm honest, I feel like it doesn't have to have so much of this one in it. Like the first one that I poured in there. But when I put it around the cake, I know how to make, I'll show you. Okay. So for now, like I said, I didn't want much black. It's set. Okay. So now we're going to put our sprinkle mix to the side. Our sprinkle mix is made. Okay, now some of the sprinkles I showed you guys are sprinkles that I just kind of ran in and bought. I needed a color, I ran in and bought. And a lot of these sprinkles, if I'm honest with you guys, I already had, and I've had it for a while before I even started my sprinkle line, before I even knew how to color sprinkles or do anything like that. So there are extra sprinkles that I'm using up, okay? So we're gonna get everything closed up. And always, always, always close up your sprinkles, because you do not want those to start rolling. One, that's money flying away. Two, all that sweeping you gotta do, okay? So the less cleanup, the better. Okay, so we got all our sprinkles made, and we ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4. We used 5, 6, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We used 7 different kind of sprinkles to get that sprinkle mix. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and make our color. Now just so you know, with that sprinkle mix too, if you want to take one of those small sandwich bags, Glad bags, you can make your little sprinkle mixes up in there. I got a lot of sprinkle mixes like that in the baking room that I make up in those little small bags and put it there, like different TikTok cakes, SpongeBob cakes, Spider-Man, Batman, all the popular cakes that people get all the time. If you want to make a sprinkle mix up for them, trust me, those will go. You'll use them. And just put them in your little Glad bag. So like when I'm done with that, I'll put it in my little Glad bag, put it on my shelf. Next time I'm using this color palette, boom, it's ready. Okay, so now I'm going to take another one, my pan. This is, again, another one of my 7-inch pans. Like I said, I use them as bowls. So now we're going to take some buttercream out of our buttercream container. And I told you guys, I make my buttercream from scratch. I make about 2 or 3 batches of it, and I fill it up. I don't want to lift it, guys, but I fill it up in this big container, and then I just scoop from it. Buttercream is good for 2 weeks on your counter, but mine, it never lasts that long. Okay, so we're going to keep scooping it up. And if you scoop too much, or you have a little more pink than you need, don't worry about it. It's icing. And then as a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a cupcake order this weekend, and I'm going to be using pink. So in a way, in my brain, I want to make extra pink. That way I don't have to make pink again, okay? Okay, so we got our pink. And then I'm going to use this gel color. It's by Deco Pack, okay? You take this, Put a little bit here. And if you actually, I know how sometimes, you know, you might go different places. You can find this at cake supply stores, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, places like this, but you're gonna find a little bitty like 2-ounce jars. This jar, and I had it for a while, so it's kind of gone. Let me see. Okay, so I got the same one, but it's in another color. This one is an 8-ounce jar. Yeah, it's an 8-ounce jar. And this, like I said, Deco Pack, you can go to decopack.com. I've been shopping with them for years, and just order, and it'll come right to your door. Whether you're a home bakery, whether you have a storefront, you can get an account with them. As long as you guys have an EIN number, they will send to you, okay? So we got a little bit of the color in, and then all we're gonna do is take our spatula and just mix it up. Now, remember I was saying that I wanted the cake to be like a, actually, I wanted the cake to be, I think I told you guys, a lighter color, and then all the stuff to be a darker color. But as it is right now, we're flipping it because we made all of the chocolate work in a lighter pale pink. So we're gonna make this pink just a little bit darker. And if you wanted this to be pale pink, when I took that color, instead of just squeezing it all in, just do it by drops and mix it until you get that pale pink, that pretty pink color that you want, okay? So now we got our pink made. Boom, just that easy. And that company that I told you guys about, that I got the coloring from, when you contact them, they will send you a book, you know, brochures, they'll send you everything, but they'll send you a big book. They usually send out 1 book a year. They'll send you a big book to your home or your storefront, and then you know, it'll have the different numbers for each item, and you'll be able to just say, I want 1 of those, 5 of those, 10 of those. Okay, so now we got our pink made. I got some black here already made up in the bag, and I also have the rosette tip on it, and we're going to use this as well when we go around the bottom of the cake, and I'm going to show you guys that, okay? And this is so I can get just a little bit more black on the cake without going too crazy, okay? So now what we're gonna do, because we got everything ready, we got our color ready, we got our bags ready, we got another pink bag with a rosette tip ready, we got a white bag with a rosette tip, and this bag actually has this is tip number 20 for this one. And this is if you're doing rosettes, this is actually a shell tip, a small shell tip. This one here is the rosette tip. It's very popular. You see that tip, this is number 1M, and you see that when you see those cake with those rosettes all the way over, that's what this tip is. Okay, so we are ready to finish this cake. All of these orders are due today. They're all due in about 3 hours, so we're gonna bang them out. The one that I'm doing right now with the Ballerina is the one that's gonna have like the most work. Everything else, quick, simple, and easy. So they'll be done. They'll be at the pickup site. And as a matter of fact, if you guys would like, if I get a chance to, depending on how much time we have, I'll take you guys to the pickup site with me, okay? But don't hold me to it. If I can, I will. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna run in here, grab the cake out of the fridge, come on back, we're gonna put the final coat on, put the decorations on, and then move on to the next one, okay? Be right back, guys. Okay, guys. Okay, so we got our cake out of the fridge. I'm just gonna take a wet cloth that I have here, and I'm just gonna go around the board for any crumbs that may have been left behind that's just on our board. We don't want that to get in our finished product. So, boom, that's done. Now we're gonna take this icing that we made up earlier, fresh icing. We're gonna take our small spatula, and we're just gonna go around the cake. Now, what you could do, if you're not good at doing it and getting the icing on like this, you could take this bag, take it, put it at the bottom, and just spin your cake around. All the way, going all the way around until you get it all the way up there. You can do either or, okay? So whichever one's for you. I do both. I know how to do both. You know, it's not a big deal. If this icing like falls down and it falls on the cake board or anything like that, don't worry about it. No big deal, no worries. Just pick it up. Okay, so let's keep going. I'll keep going. Just covering up all the white part, getting our final coat on. And you know, if you're a beginner and you don't, you're still learning, maybe you're still a little bit of timid, and you still feel like, oh man, I don't want to touch the cake. I don't want the crumbs to come out. Then do a thin layer. Put it away. The type of buttercream that I use is a crusting buttercream. So this will crust, which means like in about 5 minutes, say I take it, I put it in the refrigerator, in about 5 minutes, I'll touch the cake. Look at my finger and nothing will come off, which means it crusts, a crusting buttercream. And when you're doing cakes like what I'm doing, it is official. You gotta have it. A lot of people use like Italian meringue and different things like that, and you could use that as well, but those aren't crusting buttercreams. And they're not hard to work with or anything like that, but if you're a beginner, I would suggest this, and I would suggest you kind of graduate to that, if that makes sense. But that's my opinion, okay? Okay, so now that we got our cake covered, I'm just gonna go around a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna take our spatula. Okay, remember I told you earlier, I take these mugs and I bend them if I need to. I done had this mug for, I don't know, these mugs last forever. And I got this from, that place, decopack.com. They sell these as well. I didn't get this one in particular from there because this is a newer one, but it came from there, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we're gonna take our spatula. We're gonna go around our cake. And I'm just using this icing here, and I'm just gonna wipe my spatula right on the side of the pan, okay? I got a lot of this down here at the bottom. I just wanna go ahead and clean up some of it now, okay? And then I could take that, put it right back on the cake. All I'm doing is taking my spatula and rubbing it up and down the cake. Like every place where I see like a hole at, I'm just rubbing it. That way I can get rid of the hole now, put my spatula back on my cake, and then just go around, okay? Now, if I need some more icing, I could either take it from the top or just take it out, the icing from what we made earlier. And I'm just looking for any holes, any cracks, or anything like that where I wanna just close them up. Then take it, and all I'm doing, the turntable is doing all the work. All I'm doing is just taking my hand, and some of you guys that are here, you've been doing cakes for a while, and you just like watching cakes like me. And so, you've been, so this might go over your head. You might already know this, so you could speed it up a little bit or just walk it out with me. But for people who don't know, you just want to hold the turntable here, and put this here and then just spin. Like all I'm doing is like, it's just sitting there for the most part, and the turntable is doing all the work. And all I'm doing is closing up all the holes on the cake, anywhere where it might be a crack or anything like that, because we want our finished product to look professional and we want it to be clean. So now I'm gonna go down here and clean up some of this buttercream off the cake. And then I see a hole right there. So I'm gonna go up, wipe my spatula up over the hole to close it up. Then I'm gonna go back in. And this time I'm gonna go a little bit slower, just because I wanna go ahead and get it done now. because the actual cake that I'm working on is due in a couple hours. Okay, honestly, it's a last minute order. Okay, so now you can see all of our holes are closed. Okay, so now we're gonna go around. I'm just cleaning up the board a little bit, taking all the excess off. Now we're gonna go to the top. Now, what you could do at this stage, you want those crisp, sharp edges. You could just pick up the cake right now, go put it in the fridge, or preferably even the freezer. Leave it in there. Like I said, it's a crust and buttercream, so I could leave it in there for about 10 minutes, come back and just go like that, and it'll be like scraping chocolate, if that makes sense. And it'll just be crisp and clean. But like I said, this cake is doing a couple hours, and I actually got, what, 2 or 3 more cakes. Let's do it at the same time. So we're gonna keep it moving. So all I'm just gonna do is go to the top, because it's still gonna be crisp when I'm done. They're gonna be happy. So boom, that's it. Now I'm just gonna go back over and say, if you don't know like how much icing is on the top of your cake, if you're not sure if it's enough icing or whatever, what I do is take the end of the spatula and I just do that. And I open it up a little bit so I can see how deep that pink color is, so I can know exactly how much I got on. So I know plenty of icing. So now I'm just gonna close it back up. Okay, that easy. Just close it back up. See, like there, I see a little bit of white right there. I'm gonna put a little more pink. Go over it gently. I'm just touching it lightly. Close it back up. Now, our cake is done. Now I'm gonna take the wet cloth or rag that we have around here, over here, and I'm just gonna go around the edge of the bowl and get all that extra buttercream off of the board. I think I said bowl, but get it off of the board. Okay, I'm gonna take this cake and I'm gonna go ahead. Well, actually, I was gonna put it in the fridge because it's another item that I kind of want to add to it before we actually do the decoration, because everything is all set. But since I want to keep going, let's just keep going. I'm keep it real with y'all and show y'all like for real. So what I'm gonna do is take this black bag that we have with the tip that I have on it is number 825. Okay, now I'm gonna take this black icing, because I want one rim down at the bottom. Okay, boom. So we got one rim going around the bottom. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take the spatula that we had earlier here, swipe it off a little bit. So now we're gonna go around it, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in some of this and just make like kind of like a little loop at the bottom, if that makes sense. I'll show you. So we're gonna go around now, because this icing hasn't crusted up, it hasn't been in the refrigerator for a minute. You know, the cake ain't, this last layer isn't super cold, so you gotta be very careful. Look at my dry hands, but when you see dry hands, just know they clean. I wash my hands so often and so many times, you know, I probably didn't pull all the oil out. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Make sure, do not touch this cake. Do not touch this pink part, okay? Now this band of icing that we are putting around the bottom of this cake is another layer of icing, and we want it to look like another layer of icing. So I am leaning this scraper back a little bit, because I do not want it to touch this cake. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my spatula here and just take that black off because I want it off, and I'm just gonna sit it to the side here. Then I'm gonna take my spatula again and go back in because I wanna clean up that line just a little bit. And I am showing you, like, if you don't got time and you gotta keep moving and you don't got time to be putting your cake in the refrigerator, letting it crust and do all that because you gotta keep moving because you got more orders. Now this is what I'm showing you now, because if I had, you know, more time, or if everything wasn't kind of due at the same time or whatnot. And this is another thing that you want to think about when you're taking last minute orders. We're going to talk about that too. Okay, and that way you can decide if that's cool for you, if that's something you want to do. So I went around it again. So now I want to wipe all the little buttercream that's at the bottom. I want to get all that black buttercream off my board because I still want my board and everything to look professional and pretty. Now let me show you up close. See that line down there at the bottom? You know, it's an extra line, and I'm fine with that. I just really, you know how you put bands on there and you do it with fondant and stuff like that? You could do the same thing with buttercream, okay? So, okay, so that's done. Boom. Now, because I want to keep going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I actually do. Well, hold on. I need to go because the actual ballerina that I'm going to put up top, I got that from Amazon. You know how it is. You order it, it come in one day, and it came in gold. And remember, I told you guys the only thing that she requested is that the ballerina be black. So with the ballerina being black, so it was gold, I took some spray paint and painted her black, okay? And I got her sitting in the kitchen just drying. Actually, she's already dried. I did it a couple, 2-3 hours ago or so. I sprayed it. So I'm gonna take this, put it in the fridge. We're gonna grab all of our chocolate pieces that we made earlier. We're gonna grab our black ballerina, bring those things in, and I'm gonna come right back and we're gonna finish the cake up, okay? I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. Now, we got our cake out of the fridge. We got all our chocolate pieces that we made earlier out of the fridge. I got my gold, and if you guys want to know a little bit about my gold dish, just go to the last video. You'll see what I told you guys about that. But just so you know, this is my gold luster dust. These are just different cups. Like, I got a whole lot of measuring cups. I mean, having a store for all those years and being a baker for so long, I got so many measuring cups. You know how when you buy them, they come in a little 4-pack or whatever, the quarter all the way up to the cup. So, you know, I use them for everything. I don't use them just for baking. It's a cup. Okay, so this is how I keep my gold system, okay? So I got that because we're going to add a little bit of gold to the cake. Now we got all of our pieces. We're going to move the cake up a little bit. I got some wax paper right here. I'm going to take a piece. You guys see this? Yeah. Let me move the cake up just a little bit more over. Okay, so we got our pieces that we made earlier. So those are those hearts that we did, and we just gonna release them. Just like open it up. All we doing is release them. Some of them I filled up high, some of them I filled up low. It doesn't matter, okay? It's just some candy melts, some extra pieces to add to our cake to make it prettier, or to make it pretty, okay? For the decor. So now we got the hearts. Remember the geometric hearts that we had earlier? We did 2 of those. We just gonna unmold those, and I just kind of pulled the mold away. I literally release it. Then we just gonna pop those out. Look, got the geometric design on it. So we got those. Now these are the bowls. Remember earlier when I was saying it could be tricky? Remember I was saying if you do like it warm and you put it right in the refrigerator, that's if you're doing apples, cake pops, or anything like that. If you use warm chocolate, which you really shouldn't do, you should let it get room temperature and then dip. But, you know, if you're moving and you keep going or whatever, just make sure you don't put it in the fridge. Just leave it out on your table, on your wax paper, on your seal pat, whatever you're using. Let it set up room temperature. Don't put it in the fridge because it's going to crack. So now we're going to do this gently because this one is thin. Those was kind of thick. So we go. Unveil this gently. Because I do not want the bowls to crack because I don't want to do them over. So we just unveiling this very gently. If you can see it, I'm just unveiling it gently. Gently, 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 gently. Gently, gently, gently. Now I'm going to lift it out. Look at me whispering because I do not want it to crack. Booyah, there's our bowl. And just in case you didn't notice, a textured mold. You see the texture on that chocolate? Yeah. So if you don't got time to do the fondant and all that, or if you don't have the color fondant that you need and you got the color chocolate, use it, okay? You could put gum paste in this mold. You could put fondant in this mold. If I'm honest with you, you probably could even get away with putting buttercream in this mold. Just let it get cold. You know how a cold cake is? I'm gonna have to show y'all. Let's keep moving. So, slightly. Okay, look at our texture bowl. Okay, boom. So we got all of our chocolate pieces ready, okay? All of our chocolate pieces are done. Now, well, the first thing that I wanna do is, and if I'm honest with y'all, I told y'all I just be winging it. But I know one thing in my brain, I want to be done with this cake in 10 minutes and moving on to the next one. And that's how I'm going to stay on schedule. So, remember that ballerina I told you guys about? She was gold. And I painted her black. And I took the tutu off. I painted her black, let her dry, and then I put it back on. You can see a little black in the back. So this is the ballerina that she wanted. She cute too, y'all. So we're going to take her. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the front of my cake. And that to me just means the side that I think is the prettiest, the best, the most flawless. And that's the side that's going to be the front. So I'm looking for that right now. And typically when I find my front, I take a little piece of buttercream, put it in the front, put it right there on the board. That way, to me, I know it's the front and I don't have to keep looking for the front, if that makes sense. So this is the front. So I'm gonna take a little piece of my buttercream, put it on the board. See that there? That means that's the front of my cake. So now I'm gonna turn the front of the cake to me and I'm gonna put her on first. So I'm gonna lift up the, this is really, gosh, what you call this stuff, y'all? I mean, you know, it's made to look like a tutu, but I forget what this stuff is even called right now. It'll come to me, but I know y'all know. Put it in the comment section. Okay, cute. Got our cute little bow. Boom. It's called tulle. That's what it's called, y'all. Hey. Okay, so we got our tulle on. Now let me show y'all guys. Y'all see that? Cute. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, cause it's like she dancing and everything. Let me spread her little skirt out a little bit more. And make sure when you're leaning up, don't touch the cake, don't touch the cake, don't touch the cake. Okay, boom, so I got her. So that's how she looks. Now, what I'm gonna do is, excuse me, I'm gonna take the pieces that we made earlier and let's get these pieces on the cake. Actually, what I would like to do first, because I know I want to do that. And because the buttercream, let me touch it. It's still, because, you know, we're keeping it moving, it hasn't crusted up. So we're gonna take that sprinkle mix. Remember the sprinkle mix that we made earlier? And I wanna put some of the sprinkle mix, but I don't wanna put it on the bottom of the cake. I wanna put it on the top. So I'm gonna lift this cake up off the board, move our chocolate pieces over. We're gonna bring this sprinkle mix to me. And if I mess up, y'all get to see me fix it, okay? And I'm gonna take this sprinkle mix. What I wanna do is, first off, don't do that like how I did it. But anyway, we're gonna take our sprinkle mix that we made earlier. Hold on. Let me sit my cake down. Okay. Let me slow down just a little bit, guys. I want a little bit of sprinkles up top. Okay, so we're gonna put some up top. This is a cake for a 2-year-old too, guys. So we're gonna put a few sprinkles up top. And I'm gonna take my little spatula with the sprinkles, and I just pat it just a tad. That way my sprinkles won't run all over like they just were doing. Take it in one hand. I need to turn it my way just a little bit. I'm gonna lift up her skirt, her tulle, just a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it out. And I'm gonna do this step first. And like I told y'all, I'm freestyling. You know what I mean? I'm literally freestyling. I'm doing it on the fly like I always do. Like what I'm doing now, this how I always do. And most of my clients tell me, Savannah, go ahead and freestyle it. I like your work. Just freestyle it. Do whatever you want. You know, some of them will tell me, like I told you with her, she only told me to make sure the ballerina was black. And she was like, anything else you want to do, it's up to you. Okay, so we got that because I wanted that up there. Now, I'm going to put our ballerina back in, right in the same hole. Okay. Make sure, because I got my little buttercream right here telling me it's the front. Now, I want to take our bag that we had earlier, our pink bag with the rosette tip on it. And because I want to break up just a little bit of this pink, I want to break it up some. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to our already pink bag. Then I'm going to take the buttercream from the buttercream pan that we had earlier, and I'm going to push most of that buttercream out until I see the white. Okay, now I see white. Now I'm gonna take the bag because I'm trying to break up some of the pink because I don't want my cake to look like it threw up pink. And I know throw up and cake don't go together, but y'all know what I mean. So now I'm gonna push it down, and then I'm finna go around the top of the cake and put some rosettes. Y'all see the pink and white? That's what I was going for. We're gonna put a little of those up top with our ballerina. Did you guys ever want to be a ballerina when y'all was little? Like, Mama, I want to get ballerina lessons. And we just going around. Okay, put one more. Cute. Yes. Okay. She got her little dress. She doing her thing. See how long it is? I really want to cut that piece, so let's do it because we freestyling. Let me cut that piece of tulle off because that piece too long. Boom. Okay, so that's a little shorter piece. Okay, see how that's looking? Now, what I'm gonna do is take the pieces now that we made earlier. Look at your pieces, pick your perfect pieces. I'm gonna put a slant on this piece. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to turn it around to you guys, but I don't wanna mess up nothing, so I need it facing me. And then once I get it how I need it, all I'm doing is setting it on, guys. Once I get it how I want it, then I'll turn it around and show you guys. And then I'm just taking those bows that we made in chocolate. See, I put a little bow down in the front and put some chocolate pieces on. I'm gonna turn it back around. You know, we got a lot of pieces made, so, you know, the aim in this game is to make the client happy. That's what we trying to do, make our client happy. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe off that little buttercream down there because I don't need it anymore. I know where the front of my cake is. So now another thing that I want to do to this cake, and I'm almost done. All I want to do is take our gold cup, and when I'm using gold, the luster does, all I'm doing is, typically what I do is I'll use some lemon, either just a lemon extract, that's all this is, or what I'll do is I'll take I usually buy like a big bottle of Absolute, the vodka, or I'll get like a bottle of tequila, the 1800, and I'll use those. The vodka, it dries fast, and the lemon does as well, okay? But the liquor will dry a little bit faster than the extract. And I'm just gonna put a little bit that's already in my luster bowl, and then I keep my little luster brush in there. Now, as far as these pieces that's right here, I'm not sure if I'm gonna use them. If I use them, I use them. If I don't, I'll just take them, put them back. Remember that jar that we melted it in? I'll just put it back in there, melt it all down, put it on a piece of parchment paper, and then I'll take it and seal it in a Glad bag and just put it back on my shelf to keep it fresh. Okay, so you see that? Our little paste. So now what I'm gonna do is, y'all know I'm here at my table, so I'm gonna grab one of my chairs because now I need to get down, level to the cake, okay? Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is, I'm sorry guys, I wanna get a different chair. So, excuse me, take this chair. I'm gonna have to start bringing my stool in here, but this is cool for now. So, okay, you guys can still see me real good? Okay, so I'm gonna take our little luster, and all we did was put the lemon in it, and I'm just gonna go around this rim that we made earlier, okay? And our cake, at this point, is starting to crust up, but it's still a little wet, so I'm going with a gentle hand. See that? I'm just painting gold around the bottom, like at the top of the black. I'm just hitting this with a brush. That's it. So the same way you guys would do, and then we'll be done with this cake, and we're gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna do, let's see, we're gonna bang out, I got a SpongeBob order, so I'm gonna walk that through with you guys. We're gonna bang out a quick sheet cake SpongeBob, and then we're gonna do, what else I got after that? I got some Blue's Clues cupcakes going out for a gender reveal. You know, they wanted blue and pink. So if you could see that, all I did was, see that rim? I just made it gold, okay? Because I gotta bring gold in our thing. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take the gold, and I'm gonna go ahead around the trim of the top of our cake. I'm gonna make that gold. I'm just hitting it, just barely hitting it, just touching it with some gold. I'm just bringing some gold accents in our cake so it'll make sense. And then once I get all the gold accents in, then we'll have our gold on the cake. And y'all know I got to get a few more sprinkles on because we done made that sprinkle mix. Now y'all see how I be freestyling? And I might end up changing my mind. Okay, now I just want to go around. Can you see the gold that I put around the trim at the top? So now these stars, I'm sorry, the hearts, I'm finna hit the trim around it just a little bit with a little bit of gold, lightly. Forgive me, I gotta tell myself, lightly, just do it lightly, baby girl. Do it lightly. So I'm just hitting it with just a little bit of color. A little bit of our gold, our luster dust. And then after we get that, then we're gonna move on to, I'm gonna hit our bow just a little bit with the little gold. We don't wanna leave it out. Now what I'm gonna do is, you see that? I'm gonna take the gold and I'm gonna hit right around at the bottom. I want a little bit more gold. I love gold, y'all. So pretty. So I'm putting just a little bit more gold. And then I'm gonna put this other bow on this cake because she a 2-year-old, so you know we need a bow. Then we're gonna put a few more sprinkles on it. We're gonna write happy birthday and we're gonna move on to the next order. Okay, now what I wanna do is, you guys see the little splatter on the cake? I wanna put a little bit of splatter. So I'm just tapping my hand. Just tapping my hand, just a little bit. Because I know a lot of times when I box my cakes, y'all don't get a chance to see like the back of the cake because when I take the picture, I don't spin it around for you guys. Y'all see that splatter I'm putting here? I want a little splatter on the cake. Okay, and I keep going on the cake until I love it because I know if I love it, I know Mom is gonna love it. So we just move that out our way. I'm gonna take that other little bowl that we got. And I'm gonna stick the bowl right here on the side. And I'm gonna take a little bit of gold and put it on the bowl so it can join our gold party. Okay? Now, that's the front of our cake. A couple more splatters back here on the back. Now, we're gonna put it back in our gold tray for now. We're gonna take this sprinkle mix, the balls that we made, we're gonna put one ball. Matter of fact, let me put my gloves on. And we're gonna put one pink ball on the top of each one of our, each one of our rosettes. Okay. This is perfect for a 2-year-old, guys. What you think? So we got that. Oh, so pretty. Now what I want to do is take some of the gold balls that's in there and just kind of put them around the cake. Remember earlier when I was telling you guys that you didn't even really have to make the sprinkle? I mean, put the big balls in your mix that you could just like, just stick them on. Okay. Okay, that is pretty. Now, what I want to do with the black ones, I want to put a little bit of black ones in my hand. And then a lot of times what I do, if I'm keeping it real, I just throw it. And because I know see that black one? Because I know my fondant hasn't, not fondant, I'm sorry, my buttercream hasn't set up, it'll just stick. And I'll just throw things where I want them. Just throw them. And then I'll go back with my finger and tap it just a little bit to make sure it won't fall off. I know it's not gonna fall off actually, but I wanna show you guys that part because if my cake was set up, then I would definitely need to tap it. So I'm gonna show it to you because I got the opportunity to. And then it's a 2-year-old as well, so I don't want to put a lot of black on the cake. I think there is enough. So now what we are going to do, we got pieces that we didn't even use. Now, let me see, because things always look grand when you have something else that's just kind of big at the top. So we're going to take this piece and I'm going to stick her. See? You know, they be hers, they be hims. Y'all know what I mean? I'm gonna take her dress, I'm gonna push it down like that. Cute. Okay, now I'm gonna hit that with just a little bit of gold because it joined the party. It needs some gold. A little splat. And I wanna put this one a splat here because that way I can make the cake really makes sense. Okay, I think they're gonna love it. And I told y'all, I stop when I love the cake because I figure if I love it, then mom's gonna love it. I'm just tapping the top of these pink ones because, you know, in my brain, I'm still thinking, don't have too much pink. You know, it's pink, but it don't have to look like you threw up pink. Okay, guys, I am done. This is our final. You see that there? We got our ballerina with her dress. We got some hearts. We got our trim at the bottom. Quick and easy and done. Only thing I'm gonna do to this cake, guys, is just write happy birthday. She's turning 2, happy 2nd birthday. I can't exactly remember right now what her name is. If I'm honest, I'm about to go through our form where she sent me as far as what the baby's name was, and I'm gonna put happy 2nd birthday. I'm gonna write it right down here on the board and we are done. So this is our final. Okay, we got some chocolate pieces. We got our sugar pearls. We made our own sprinkle mix. And I can honestly say I love it. If I was 2 years old and I got this, I'd be excited. All right, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you coming back to my channel one more time to check us out. If there's anything in particular that you would like to see me do in the future, put it down in the comment section and I will put it on my list and I will definitely get to it with you guys. I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. I appreciate it. You guys have a blessed and prosperous week. Bye-bye.